Hey, Nas here, giving you guys another update. Since the last video, I was having problems with the feed ramp. The bullet was actually getting jammed on the feed ramp. The other problem that I was having was the slide stop was activating prematurely, and I contacted Kimber about that. They said it was a slide stop issue. What happens is there's actually a little bit too much metal on there, and when the round was getting slid forward just a little bit in the magazine, it was actually activating the slide stop prematurely and causing it to lock back. Kimber knows about the issue. They actually, if you call them up, they'll send you a new slide stop that was sent to the custom shop. They actually grind it down a little bit, polish it up, and the clearances are perfect now. I installed that in the gun. I mean, basically a field strip, you throw it back in, piece of cake. That did fix that problem. Slide stop is not activating anymore prematurely, so I was pretty happy about that, and Kimber was really cool about it. They sent it out, no cost to me, and it came within about a week. The other issue that I was having was the feed ramp. The bullet was jamming on the feed ramp. I did a little bit of research on that, just to let you know, a really good place to go for information on the 1911 style gun is 1911forum.com. They actually have separate sections for the certain type of gun that you have. You know, if it's a Springfield or Smith & Wesson or Kimber, you basically click on that, and then you can go to separate sections for technical questions, problems and answers and stuff like that. And I actually went on there and I found a lot of people that were having the same problem, and it seemed to be the same answer every single time. They actually changed the recoil spring from the stock Kimber recoil spring, and they upgraded to a Wolff spring, which is the Wolff XP spring. It's extra power, I guess. I made sure that I put in that I had the 4-inch length on my barrel. Put that in there, and they sent me a new recoil spring. They also sent me the firing pin spring. So just did a field strip, swapped those out. It's pretty simple. Apparently this new spring will allow the round to have a little bit more time to make it up the feed ramp before the slide was coming back, while the round was still doing a little bit of a nosedive, and it wasn't giving it enough chance to get up the feed ramp. Speaking about feed ramps, I made a mistake. On an aluminum frame, you should never polish it because there is a hard anodizing coating on there that protects the aluminum from getting stripped down from hollow points and from the full metal jacket, the ball round. I shouldn't have done that. Fortunately, I didn't polish it too much. I went very gently, so hopefully no damage was done by it. But if there was damage, what I need to do is I contacted EGW Incorporated. They're out of Pennsylvania. They actually install a steel feed ramp into the gun. They actually drill a hole where the old feed ramp is. They install a new one. And basically they put the little Loctite on there with a screw. You can't see the screw, it's underneath the slide and everything. But apparently that's a fix. It's $150 to do it. So I'm just going to stick with what I have right now, and if I start having jamming problems on the feed ramp again, I know it's got to be done. So don't polish aluminum feed ramps. Big mistake. I took some bad advice and I did that, and now I know. Always get good advice from professional people, not from people that don't know what they're talking about. Let's see, the other thing that I did to my gun, the mainspring housing on the Kimbers and a lot of other guns is, you'll find that it's actually plastic. Here's my gun. You'll see that I safety checked it, so the gun's cool. The mainspring housing right here was plastic. This is actually an Ed Brown mainspring housing. It's made out of stainless steel. This particular design is called snakeskin. I was going to go with the checkering because I like having a nice grip back there, but I found that the snakeskin is actually very grippy. I didn't think it would be, but it's actually very grippy, and you can really, I mean, you could file your nail down with it. It's that grippy. So I'm pretty impressed with it. It was an easy part to swap out. Basically, just to show you real quick, take a rubber band and you want to actually wrap that rubber band around real tight. You want to double it up, wrap it around your safety right here. You want to lock that in, and then you can basically drive the pin out in the bottom here, slide the mainspring housing out, take out the old spring by there's actually a pin holding that spring in. So what you want to do is compress it, hold it upside down, the mainspring housing, and there's a plunger in there. You want to push the plunger down with something like this. I just made this myself. It's actually just a finishing nail into a piece of wood, and you want to push the plunger down, slide the pin out, and slowly relieve the pressure off of the spring. Swap it out, do the reverse, put it back in, slide your new mainspring housing in, slide your pin back through there. When that's all done, you can take the rubber bands off of the lock here, the grip lock, and you're pretty much good to go. The mainspring housing is beautiful. Now everything on my gun is stainless steel, and I feel a lot safer about that. I found that if you do get into a fight with somebody and drop your gun, that the plastic mainspring housing can crack and break, and basically making your gun useless. So it will go as a useless gun, other than using it for like a hammer or something. So definitely it's a good upgrade. It looks great. You know, I did upgrade to the Crimson Trace laser grips, so now I have the Crimson Trace laser grips. I have the Ed Brown mainspring housing, stainless steel. I have the new slide lock in there that was custom done by Kimber, and I'm pretty happy with the gun. The magazine that I decided to go with is the Kimber Pro Tac Mag. I do have the Wilson Combat. I like the Wilson Combat a lot. I really like the feel of the Kimber Pro. Also, I've had less failures with the Kimber Pro. The Wilson Combat, I did have a few failures with it, but I wouldn't say that it was the actual magazine causing the failures. It was probably the recoil spring or something like that. But pretty happy with the setup I got now. I took it out. Everything seemed to be fine. I didn't have any jams. The slide didn't lock back, so I'm happy with it. That's pretty much it. Just to recap, my slide stop issues seem to be fixed with the new slide stop that Kimber sent me. I replaced the original recoil spring with the Wolff XP recoil spring, and I also swapped out the firing pin spring because they gave me a new one. You might as well do them at the same time, so next time you go to swap it out, everything has the same amount of rounds on it. Don't polish a feed ramp on an aluminum frame. Bad idea. There's a reason that it has that coating on there. It's a hard anodizing coating that protects the aluminum. Once that's off, the aluminum is very soft metal, and the rounds can start to nick away at your feed ramp, and eventually it'll cause you to start having jamming problems. If you do, EGW Incorporated in Pennsylvania install steel feed ramp for 150 bucks. And then the Ed Brown mainspring housing, pretty sweet, looks good. It was about 60 bucks. You can go right to their website, or you can go to Midway USA. They also have them on there with pretty good pictures, so you can get an idea. It's a direct fit, slides right in. Make sure you use the rubber band on your grip safety. If not, you end up having to take the whole trigger assembly out because it messes things up in there. I'm not a gunsmith, but I do know that the rubber band is a good trick that I learned from the 1911forum.com. So anyway, thanks guys for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Any feedback, feel free to leave it. And take care.